The soundtrack of our lives and Breakfast on the Beach on 8AJ. Gino Vanelli, what a great segue. Because it's all about the segue, right? This is what we do. Wild horses. Well, let me tell you, we've got a young bloke sitting over here who is by far and away what we'll call the pearl of success from an Alice Springs story as far as that goes. I have great pleasure in inviting into my studio a young bloke who I met some years ago. He came here bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and, bright-eyed and wide-eyed and bushy-tailed, as a matter of fact, from Melbourne. And his dad brought him up here, proud as punch. His first ever radio gig. Would that be right?
Yep. And you mentored as well.
Well, yeah, we do what we can.
Brought him into the 8HA studio, mentored him like no other.
Fixed your brakes.
Fixed my brakes.
At least bling them up anyway. Pat Comerford, what a success story, and it is an absolute indeed pleasure to have you here. And I do say thank you so much. That means a lot to me that you would actually say that. It's always been a measure of mine to bring young talent in and do what we can to help, because that's what you do. You give back, right?
For sure.
For sure. Always. And you'll do the same.
Yep.
You'll do the same. And what a story yours has been. Look, I've got to say, it's not unusual to see someone who's been in the broadcasting industry to then go to something like what you've done. Can you tell us a little bit about how you became a race caller? I mean, yes, we are only up the road from Pioneer Park, but what was the transition? What was the precursor to that?
Well, look, I'd like to say that the foundations of calling a race was developed here in Alice Springs, but I don't think it was, unfortunately.
What do you mean?
The fact that when I took over the role, Shane Green was unfortunately having to leave. Des Friedrichs was the CEO at the time. They were in desperate need of someone. It was going to cost them a fortune to bring someone in who had already done it, who was more professional and being able to fly them in and fly them out.
Big costs involved.
The Alice Springs job is not something that's easily filled, because you need to find someone who's able to live here and also work for those other sort of days of the fortnight, because we're not racing here every week. So it takes the special person to be able to fill that role. Being here, they were giving me the opportunity to essentially work with no experience whatsoever in this role.
Totally.
Throw me in the deep end and say, look, we'll take the risk that you are able to fill the job and do that. But my trial period, which is what everyone usually does calling races before they get a job, was done while I was calling the races here. So it's a very unique experience. It's not something that you'll probably ever see again now with remote calling and the way of the world now post-COVID. But it's definitely given me the opportunity to make it a career out of it. Yeah. I went on to New Zealand and was able to learn the fundamentals and basics alongside other commentators of basically how to do the job properly. But we got our way through the job here in 2 years, and it worked out for the better.
Oh, mate, to say it worked out for the better is one of the greatest understatements of 2026. I mean, look, your delivery, your tone, your candour, your pitch, your pace, all of this is a big part of what we do on radios. So you would say that when you began on radio, it helped culture that creativity and that ability to think on the fly. But no, you see, this is not thinking on the fly. What you're doing over there when it comes to calling a race, that is literally the epitome of thinking on the fly. What I can't get my head around is, how do you formulate the words so quickly to come out of your mouth while watching something that is happening in motion, second by second, millisecond by millisecond, and know all these guys' names, the horses' names, the riders' names, the details about the rider? It hurts my head just thinking about it. Yeah. How do you do that? Is that just a gift? It is gift.
I think you've got to have the fundamentals there, which I don't know if I realised I had early doors, but it's a learned skill. I mean, I think like learning a language or like playing an instrument, by doing it so often, you learn to basically do that. But I think at the end of the day, the main fundamental is that you need to have passion for it. You need to enjoy what you're talking about. If you were going in and looking and commentating horse racing and you didn't have no interest in horses whatsoever, it would be the worst job in the world.
Did you?
I loved it. And
But did you have an interest in horses before you went?
I did.
This?
I did have the interest. I definitely had the interest. The thing that I found here, and I think why I enjoyed, and from the moment I started here in Alice, by working here and by doing this job here at the racetrack, I was so involved there at the races in regards to knowing who owned the horses, knowing who trained the horses, knowing who rode the horses, that you have, I guess, you have a bit of skin in the game, a bit of emotion in the game, because you want to see these people succeed. You know the stories behind all the hard work that's gone to get that horse to the races and that horse to win that race. So if you are involved in it and you have a passion for it and an emotion for what's going on, it makes the job a whole lot easier to tell the story. And that at the end of the day, that's what it is. It's you're telling the story.
And you are, but it's happening also very quickly. And that's the thing that I suppose makes it such a very highly specialised form of, or a profession, if you like.
For sure.
And, you know, the other side of it is also, unlike radio here, where you are sitting in the confines of a closeted studio, you're secular, you're insular, if you like. You're there, you're live, you're happening, and, you know, there must be a tremendous amount of, I guess, trepidation. Well, I would say trepidation because it's all live. And if you stuff it up, there's going to be those people.
The whole world knows.
The whole world knows. And they're looking at you, you're a do-head, you donk. What did you say that for? You messed it. Because everyone's got money on these horses. And where money's involved, great stress is also involved.
It's a thankless job because you go home after a night out at the races and you haven't put a foot wrong, you're going back and you listen and you go, there's a few things I could have done.
So do you pre-record yourself on these?
No, but I can go back and watch the replays of it.
Okay,
but
right.
What I'm saying is you can go in and you can have a full night, you go back and listen to your replays and you go, okay, I think I've done everything right there. I don't think there's anything that's been too bad.
Yep.
And that's a normal night for you. You think you might have called well and everything goes good. But people expect perfection, and then the moment that you'd make the tiniest little blunder in a live broadcast, well, it's all over social media. What a numbskull! What's he doing? Like, why is he? You know, how's this guy got this job?
Oh,
but it's the same.
Brutal.
It is.
No, I would beg to say
social media is unfortunately the thing that we've been. I think it's so good in many ways, but it's got just as many bad connotations associated with it. And when you have your moments of little blips here and there,
being human. It's called to err.
Exactly.
In the middle of your race there. And over comes something. It's err to be human. It's err to be human. Is to err. So that's what I'll be throwing in there. And if you think you can do the job a lot better, come over there. And horse number 5 is coming up around the corner, and that one's followed by that prick over there who said something bad to me. Your mother's got a big nose. Over there, I'd be throwing epithets and insults in it. Listen, so you've come from here to New Zealand. From New Zealand, now you're based in Singapore.
I was in Singapore, and I'm now in Dubai.
Well, how'd you make it out alive?
Yeah.
Can you give us a little bit of a background?
Yeah.
Not without going too deep.
About how it's going there?
Well, okay, first of all, what's the biggest race so far that you've called?
The biggest race I call is the Dubai World Cup. It's the second biggest prize in the world. It's worth $12 million US.
No kidding. And that one there, now you're based in Dubai. Is that right?
Yep.
And okay, who do you work for there?
So I've got two. Yeah, so I've got two employers. The first one is the Dubai Racing Club, who manage Meydan, which is our main surface.
Yep.
But we also have 4 other tracks because we race both thoroughbreds. We also race purebred Arabians as well.
Yep.
And that's the local breeder horse that they use. So we've got 5 tracks around there as well. So we're basically racing at Jebel Ali, which is also in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Sharjah, and also Al Ain, which is over near Oman.
How long have you been there?
Been there 3 years now.
Wow.
And so on and off, 7 months on, 5 months off. But yeah, look, it's all come back to obviously the fact that we kicked off our career here in Alice Springs, and
you've
there's
gone
so many.
From the desert to more sand.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I've gone from the desert to the desert. It's like a full circle moment.
It is actually. It is.
It's almost poetic.
Next, you'll be, if you really stuff up, you'll be calling camels.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we did that here as well. Remember the Uluru Camel Cup, Alice Springs Camel Cup. There you go.
You've cut your camel teeth on everything. Now, how do you feel about everything that's going on over there at the moment? And are you safe?
For sure.
Do you feel okay?
Yeah, they've been preparing for this for a very long time to be in the proximity of what's going on, and you feel very, very safe to know that everything that's going on is you've obviously got that protection. So look, I'm very much looking forward to heading back there for my fourth season in late September. But we've got racing locally that we've got to focus on here, Beachy, because we've got Alice Springs Cup weekend,
yes.
and we've got obviously the Pioneer Sprint on Saturday on Family Day, and then it's a very busy week of events in Central Australia. Coming back here to this original date, Bangtail Muster's on as well. So obviously there's a lot of things going on, but hopefully plenty of people are going to pop out to Pioneer Park on Monday for the Alice Springs Cup at some stage. They've done an amazing job getting everything set here for this, and it looks like it's going to be the weather's going to be fantastic, and it's going to be a great weekend of events.
Now listen, they brought you out specifically from Dubai for this event, or did you just happen to be in Australia?
No, so end of season. So back in Australia, it timed well with me being back here.
It's going to summer there, right?
Yeah. So summertime we're not there, which is good. So the 5 months of break begins. So I'll be picking up a few things over the next few months. But this was certainly in the books a long way out of. This was sort of organised. I remember messaging you in about December last year. I said, I'm coming up to Alice, and you said, we'll catch up very soon. And I went, yeah, no worries. I'm booked in to come up Alice Springs Cup weekend in early May. You went, that's 4 months away. What are you doing messaging me now?
Well, and here he is. How about that? And time does indeed fly, let me tell you. And I had to throw in a little bit of a quip in there about the fact that you've got a luncheon on, or have you had that?
Yes, correct. So the Red Centre luncheon for the Alice Springs Carnivals tomorrow is on tomorrow. Yes, Friday. So we've got that on at the casino. That's going to be going on at the convention centre. Looking forward to that. It's going to be a big afternoon of racing. We've also got the barrier draw on tonight as well. So
and you're something of a guest of honour at this luncheon.
Well, yeah, not so much a guest of honour. I mean, a host. I'm going to be emceeing the luncheon, and I think the focus that they've put back on it is they've brought in a bunch of guests of people who have been here before, and people who Alice Springs Turf Club have basically, have begun their careers here.
Yeah.
Adam Olzanski, who's a commentator from Victoria, he was obviously a young commentator who cut his teeth here as well.
Right.
And Stevie Arnold, who the Arnold family have been synonymous with Alice Springs for a long time, and Stevie Arnold, one of the really great jockeys of the last sort of 30 or 40 years, who has now since retired but still working and racing. He's coming back here to Alice Springs and going to be another guest as well.
So the gratuity of a $200 ticket doesn't just buy you telling your story. No. Back in the day, it used to be you.
I'm going to be asking the questions. No one's going to be worried about me.
You, myself, and Foxy were over here talking about our story. I'm mostly listening to yours at $7.50 for a meat pie and a can of Coke. I thought that was always. He's done pretty good, this bloke. If for nothing else, now let's go for a little trip around Australia, and we say thanks for taking the time to come in.
Thank you, Beachy.
I know you got to go get your Howard car back to where it is. You can stop in the pie face, say good day to the boys, and say good day to Sri over there. He's a good mate of mine. Get yourself a pie face, fill your car up, and on your way. Now, let's go around the nation today. We're going to get there shortly. There's some unseasonably humid easterly winds bringing showers and storms to the northern tropics. I'm not calling a race, I'm just calling the weather as it stands at the moment, with a cold front skimming southern SA. It's causing odd showers and storms. Nothing of that coming to us in the centre of Australia. We'll get to our weather forecast soon enough. And a cold, clear morning in between with a clear sky high again over most of the east coast. Sydney, 23 degrees. Your hometown?
My hometown, Melbourne, top of 22 with a low of 10, and currently sitting about 9.9, so it's below the low at the moment.
Yeah, it is below. It's below the low. How about that? Brisbane is above the above at 28 degrees today, while Perth's under some rain.
Yeah, bit of rain there out there as well. A low of 12 today, top of 23, so should warm up a little bit later.
Adelaide's 24, still looking beautiful over there. And the capital?
Canberra, a bit cold in the morning, 1 degree, a low, but that'll be warming up shortly. 22 is the top there for today.
And we'll wrap things up with Hobart and 18, and you can take it out of here with Darwin.
Yeah, Darwin, low of 24 and top of 33, so it's going to get nice and warm there as well a little bit later on. Currently 24.3 degrees.
And outside we've got around about, 14 degrees, is that right?
Yeah, about 14. It feels that way at least.
Oh yeah, well that's what the phone will tell you. And a top of 29 degrees today. Been great to have you here. Our Cap City boy who came here to be a small town country breakfast announcer is now calling races all around the world. Capat Comerford, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you, Beachy.
All the best.